So this is going to be our first virtual film session, which I'm really excited about. This is one of the most underrated tools that you can use as a lacrosse player to get better, to get smarter, to learn from other amazing players that are out there. I love using Stony Brook as an example. Personally, Coach Wink and I are close with the coaches over there, so we know the coaches well. We know the girls on the team. We work very closely with Kylie Miller, who not only is one of the best players to ever play in college, but also at Stony Brook, but she coaches there too. And it's pretty cool that Kylie's gotten a chance to come down and work with some of you girls at our shooting clinics, which we actually have plans to do even more and more with her, starting hopefully, this summer / the fall once we get rolling outside again. So Stony Brook's a great school to look up to because they're local and you can go watch them play live, which is great. And Stony Brook's also a great school because they have a lot of girls from Long Island who you can look up to and go watch and track, which is really neat. Pretty much, I would say over 90% of their roster are players from Long Island. And then most importantly, they don't like Florida, so it's always nice when anyone can try to beat up on Florida, right, DeRusso?
What happened to Russo?
That's what I thought, DeRusso. Big Florida fan. So anyway, Stony Brook plays one of the hardest schedules in the country. They play in the America East Conference, so they play against like other programs like Albany, and they'll play against programs like Hartford. So schools that are kind of in this area and region, but they constantly win their conference championship. But what makes Stony Brook so good is they challenge some of the best teams in the country besides in their conference. So they'll play teams like Hopkins, which we're going to watch today. They'll play teams like Florida. They'll play teams like Princeton. These are all great teams that are out there. So they challenge everybody because they want to be, national championship style team. This game in particular we picked because Coach Sam DeSalva, who's in our program, she coaches our 7th grade team. She's someone that you're going to be able to watch in this game. She's a senior, and we'll definitely point her out because there's a lot to learn from Coach Sam as we kind of move through this here. So let's get started here. I'll stop throughout to address some teaching points. If anyone has a question, you can always cut me off or you can ask it later. But this is a good time just to sit back and relax and just learn. If you want to take some notes, you can, or if you just want to watch, that's totally cool too. All right, so we'll start with the opening draw here. As you can see, Stony Brook is ranked number 1 when this game was played. Hopkins was around, top 20 team. All right, so.
It's so glitchy.
Yeah, you'll see it might be a little frozen. Like it might freeze at times, but even if it's delayed, can you girls still kind of like make out like where the ball is and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Now let's talk defensively, girls. Notice how the Stony Brook girls have their sticks up when they're on ball. They're very quick to get to the ball, and they're quick to recover away from the ball. They work very well collectively, so you'll notice that they're always in a position to help. And that's a good example right there with the stick is in the passing lane. All right, this is Allie Kennedy, one of the fastest players in the country. Okay, now freeze for a sec, girls. This right here, this is Sam DeSalva, okay? She's an amazing midfielder, someone that you can learn a lot from watching, okay? One of the things that Stony Brook does a great job of as you watch them on film and on TV is they are so good in transition, which means you get the ball from your defense to your offense. And they do it even though they have some of the fastest girls in the country, and Allie Kennedy, who's right here, Sammy DeSalva, who's right here. They let the ball do the work, all right? That's the first thing. The second thing is, girls, they don't just throw the ball as soon as they see an open player. In transition, they do a great job waiting till they get someone to commit to them before they throw the ball. So right now, girls, this girl in Hopkins who's dropping in to play defense, she is not fully committed to Coach Sam. And notice how Coach Sam has not released the ball yet. So they do a great job drawing players before they move it, all right? And a simple rule of thumb in transition, all right, if you don't know where to go with the ball, see where the slide comes from, all right? So if the help comes from this girl, All right, look where she's coming from and advance the ball to that player that she just slid from. All right, so we'll watch this play out here. Sam draws a girl, moves it, draws, moves it, draws, and moves it. Okay, and then as a result, right, look who just caught that pass. You got the player who's closest to the goal because they forced the defense to rotate. All right, and because Hopkins fouled her, all right, Stony Brook is now going to get a free position right on the corner of the 8-meter, which is a nice little spot. All right, because this is a nice spot because you have a righty. Her stick's to the inside, so that's like the box lacrosse concepts we talk about. And now if she takes a nice angle toward the middle of the field here, she'll be able to get a good shot off on this Hopkins girl. So that was a great sequence in transition. And now Stony Brook, they got a good shot. Looks like they hit one off the pipe. All right, ground balls, you'll see how important they are in the college game, right? Stony Brook does a great job getting a tough ground ball, and now they kind of settle their defense down. Notice how the Stony Brook girls don't dodge off of ground balls. All right, there's Kylie Oldmiller behind the goal. Okay, I'm gonna back that up. I think we should all watch that again. Okay. All right, girls, if you are on Instagram, okay, even if you're not, if you can grab your parents' phone and follow FLG, you should look at one of the most recent posts that I put up. It's called the finalizer move. Coach Karen, who played at Stony Brook and also coaches our team, she did this in her backyard, just kind of working on her game. This is a great move to work on for any of our attackers or middies who dodge from behind the goal. The finalizer is when you kind of make 2 moves behind the goal, and then you turn the corner really tight to the crease and get a shot off. All right, Kylie Oldmiller does a great job of this in this clip, but you girls can work on this as well in your backyard. All right, just if you follow the last Instagram post, you'll see exactly how it's broken down, but here's a great example, okay? So Kylie, all right, once I click play here, you'll notice she drives to her left hand, rolls back to her right, and then immediately cuts back to her strong hand, turns the corner, and then gets a good shot off for a goal. All right? That's called the finalizer move. That's a great move you can work on getting to your left hand, or for any of our righties, right? We got some righty attackers on the call, right? Like Roberts. I know you're a righty, right? Most of you guys are actually probably righties, and you play different positions. But
well, Addie and Olivia are lefties, and Mastro's a lefty if Mastro's on.
Yep. So again, that's for our attackers if you want to work on some moves from behind the goal. So that's called the finalizer right there. So I'm gonna skip forward just a little bit. We'll go to the next draw. Whoop, let me go backwards. I'm sorry. All right, here we go. All right, 1-0 Stony Brook. Go Sea Wolves. New draw. All right, notice their positioning. The girls are in a bent. Their knees are bent, athletic position. All right, let's back up for a second. This is great for you, Neary, Perfetto, anyone that takes the draw, okay? Watch McCarthy, number 24. She tries to get the ball at its highest point. She doesn't wait for it. So McCarthy, she's probably like 5'11", maybe even 6 feet tall. She uses her height to her advantage. Like if she waited for the ball to come down here, this girl in Carolina might be able to get it from her. But notice how she's trying to extend her left arm and get the ball at its highest point. So that's good, a good learning tool for you guys to check out. All right, now, this is huge, girls. There are different types of ground balls in lacrosse, all right? The ball is right here on the ground. This ground ball type is called an advantage ground ball. What does that mean? It means this girl in Carolina has a advantage on the girl in white. The girl in white's behind her. She's trailing her. That means you have an advantage. You have a step on her. All right, you have a shot to pick up this ball. The only way you should try to pick this ball up when you have an advantage is run through it full speed. If you slow up, you're giving this girl in white an opportunity to make it a 50-50 ground ball, which is a different type of ground ball. So any of my soccer players out there, you know that there's a difference between a 50-50 ball, right, and then maybe a ball that's coming to you clean with no one else around you, or an advantage ball, right? It's the same concept in soccer, right? This right now is not a 50-50 ball, but what happens is the girl in Hopkins slows up, and now it's a 50-50 ball, and Stony Brook gets the ball back because the ref calls something against Hopkins. I'm not really sure what. I guess a hold. All right, so now Sammy DeSalvo picks the ball up, and what should have been a Hopkins ground ball went to the other team. All right, so let's watch Stony Brook play a little offense now. All right, notice the spacing, girls, right? They're not really condensed. They're nice and spread out as they're working the ball around.
I love this play.
Yeah, we can go back to that. All right, that got deflected.
I love the cut through. We're gonna use this cut through. Notice people off ball, guys. Don't just watch where the ball is. Watch the two girls cutting through now when Sammy DeSalvo 11 gets the ball. See 20?
All right, so here's Sam. Here's 20. Now, girls, we did this in box lacrosse. You have options. Number 20 can set a pick, okay? She could shallow cut, all right? Or she could do what's called fade, which means she's just going to push that way to create space for Sam. She does a very simple shallow cut here. And look at that. Look at all the space Sam has.
Yeah, she picked the girl off a little bit accidentally.
Yeah, it's a good way to set a legal moving pick when you shallow cut.
Look how quick they move the ball, though, girls. This is a great one. Allie dodging from here.
Right, here's another example, girls, right? This girl cleared through, giving Allie Kennedy an option. Allie now can go underneath and beat her girl and do what's called an S dodge. Okay. Let me see if I can add my little cursor. Hold on one sec here. I have a cursor pro. Where's my little cursor? That's better. Okay. So Allie here has options. She can do her S dodge underneath, or she can even dodge to the middle because this player did a great job moving off ball. Okay. So again, like Coach Wink said, watch the off ball play. It's very important. Come on. There we go. All right. Now Allie gets a shot off. Not a great shot. Really good save though. And now Hopkins is clearing the ball. All right, make sure when you shoot, girls, you got to change planes. Don't just shoot to the goalie stick, right, even at the highest level. Sometimes they don't shoot perfectly, but you can always learn. All right, now the ball's up on the top of the screen. They're clearing it down the side. All right. I'd like to watch that again. One thing, girls, I want you to watch this again. Ball's coming up the side. If you're one of these attackers, girls, and you pop out for the ball and you don't get it, you should immediately cut back into the middle so that way you create space for your defender to run, right? If you're a defender and you're getting pressured, the last thing you want is a double team, all right? So be careful clogging space, otherwise there'll be a double team there. All right, so again, notice Stony Brook's posture on defense. They're tall, athletic position, very quick to get on and off the ball. They're always have a help right and a help left. They're matched up. They do play a type of zone, which I know Coach Carolyn has started to implement and will do more of this year. But so you'll run actually a similar style defense to Stony Brook, but it definitely takes a lot of communication and coordination. All right. Great job for any of our goalies that are on. Great job trying to back the shot up. All right, let's talk about this for a second. All right. All right, so in the girls' game now, at the college level, all right, you have an opportunity. Let's just watch this shot one more time. So she's going to advance the ball up top. This girl is looking for a little shooting space. Ends up taking one. Okay. All right, ball goes out on the end line. All right. This girl, as soon as she picks it up and looks at the ref and blows it, well, actually, she doesn't have to blow the whistle. As soon as she picks it up, she can start resuming play. All right. So, again, it's a good effort by the goalie, but you have to be conscious to get back in net. So, any of our middies and defenders that are on the call right now, you have to understand that if a team is going to be really quick to restart, all right, it's called that quick restart. If you're one of these middies inside, you have to mark up with the players that are the biggest threats on the field. So that would be this girl. That would be this girl. You probably want to watch out for this girl with the knee brace. All right. Now, this girl that picks the ball up, I love playing fast, but you don't want to force the ball. Right? So she picks it up and just like chucks it inside. I don't love that play right there because it's kind of a low percentage play. You're just kind of throwing it. And they do the same thing again. They just pick it up and they kind of just throw it inside. Right? You want to be very deliberate with who you pass the ball to on those end lines. All right, so now Hopkins, again, they rush and they throw it inside. They turn the ball over. So now Stony Brook's going to give the ball to the fastest girl. Oh, what's going on here? All right, hold on one sec. It looks like it's loading. All right, and now Allie's clearing that ball up the field. All right, she throws it away. Hopkins gets the ball back. Right, so good job by Hopkins redirecting the ball, right? You might do this in soccer. If you can't clear up the ball on one sideline, it's okay to go backwards with the ball and redirect it. Same thing in lacrosse. Great job by Stony Brook swarming the ball, right? Our attackers, make sure you take a lot of pride in trying to ride the ball back. Your middies, right, they have to run a lot more than you in a game, so you have to ride as hard as you can till the top of that restraining box. All right, let's talk about this girl. This is interesting. All right, I'm gonna go back here for a sec. All right, ball's going behind. All right. There's a girl on ball right now. She's applying a good amount of pressure. Okay, she's not letting her get any sort of wiggle room, any freedom to potentially feed the ball. Right, she is on her. All right, which is great because you don't want to let someone just stand back there and feed. All right, she's doing a good job. Now, notice how far off Allie Kennedy is playing on this girl. Now, the reason that that's okay, in my opinion, is because this girl has established herself as a carrier versus a dodger. There's a difference. A carrier is not showing any sort of body positioning or intent to attack the goal. That means you can give a little bit more cushion and play a little bit softer. If this girl was in a position and showing as if she was going to attack the net, she's way too far off. She's got to be closer to her and make contact further away from the goal. And the reason you want to do that, girls, is because if you make contact further away from the goal, more often than not, you'll be able to dictate where she goes in the field. All right. Also, if you get beat, it gives the girls behind you more time to react and slide. All right. That's why you do that. All right. And again, she's just being a carrier. She does not really look like she wants to attack the goal. All right. All right. That's not a terrible time to be physical. Right. This is kind of a low angle, this hanging hash. It's tough to get action out of it. One sec. This is loading. All right. Let's talk about the free position from this hanging hash for a second. All right. So if any of you girls are in this position offensively, a couple things you can look for. All right. The first thing is, where are your defenders? All right. So if you have a girl that's standing on the corner of the 8 or on the inside here, all right, probably not a great time to attack the middle and get a shot off. If this girl, when the whistle was blown, was closer to goal line, that's a nice pass because she can now sneak or quickly attack the opposite side of the goal. All right, so those are a couple options you might have if you're on this hanging hash here. She's in a good position. It's a good feed, all right, but she doesn't throw a fake. Right? If you get an opportunity, girls, to get a shot off in here, just like we do in box lacrosse, you got to at least throw one fake. You got to maybe fake near pipe, shoot far pipe, fake near pipe, fake far pipe, shoot back to the near pipe. She doesn't throw any fakes, and the goalie makes a good save. Notice how fast they clear the ball. I mean, good pace on their clear. Notice how their defenders have really good stick skills. All right. Here's Kylie, always in a position to attack the goal. Ball's up top. Notice the spacing, girls, and they never hold the ball longer than like 3 seconds. All right, let's watch this.
This is the double clear through.
Yeah, this is exactly that. It's a double clear through. So this girl's dodging. And you have 1, 2 players that are closest to the ball on the strong side clearing through. All right. The reason that's a really effective move is because, well, for one, you have 1, 2, 3 players on the weak side, on the left side, so it's very hard for them to help the ball. 2, it's creating space for the Dodger. All right. Now 3, if one of these 2 girls in Carolina decide to go slide and help the ball, these 2 girls from Stony Brook, one of which I think is Coach Sam, are now in a position that if they're open, they can catch and be a threat to get a shot off. All right. That's why the double clear through on this kind of like high wing here is a really good option. Right.
Very important. Cor, can I jump in?
Yep.
Very important, girls. When you clear through, you watch the ball. Never take your eyes off the Dodger. Because if your girl leaves you, you got to open your eyes to her.
Yeah, we're gonna watch that again. Okay. So they're gonna move the ball back up top, double clear through, and then the last thing that's great, which people don't even realize, is you also have if you have like a lefty here, all right, since this is like the left alley, all right, she can quickly curl and get a shot off, all right, which Kylie does. They pass down, her defender's ball watching, and they get an easy goal. That's
so
good offense.
if we were running that, guys, we would have our lefties playing attack, either Addy or Malata or Mastro, and our righty dodging, and have the lefty coming up. And it's the perfect time because you guys know when your girl doesn't have the ball, you got to have an eye on her. And when we're playing against teams, they're sleeping, we beat them back door and we stick it.
So it looks like they have a new draw girl going against McCarthy. Her body positioning is different, right? So her chest is facing her opponent. Her knees aren't pointed in the same direction, so it's a different style. It's good to recognize the different ways you can line up at the draws at the circle there. All right, but definitely key in on these girls if you take the draw. Looks like she gets tripped up. Great ground ball by Coach Sam, and look, she immediately runs away from pressure. That's a great job by her, and then makes a smart decision to find the open player.
Remember, guys, you can go backwards to get away from pressure. For those of you that play soccer, a lot of times you go backwards when nothing ahead of you is open.
There's a term, girls, called smart aggressive. Smart aggressive is exactly what Stony Brook's doing right now. All right, they're being and playing very aggressive, and they're attacking early, but they're also making good decisions for the most part. I know that shot wasn't backed up, but they're constantly in attack mode. All right. Look how hard they ride. There's always white shirts on the ball. It's okay to be a little physical, right? They knocked the Hopkins girls down a couple times. It's all good. It's a contact sport. It's going to happen. You know, you just don't want to do anything egregious where you get a card, but it's okay to be physical when someone falls down. It's not the end of the world. You're not trying to break someone's arm. You're just trying to let them know that if they try to get to certain areas of the field, it's not going to be that easy.
And you'll always hear us say, get your hands on her. You always want to be able to get your hand. That's a nice move by the Hopkins girl.
Yeah, let's watch that again. That was a slick little move. This is a good little backyard move you can work on, girls. All right, this girl up top with the knee thing on, she kind of like – yeah, she throws – let's go back for one more second.
She splits the dodge.
Oh, I went too far. Sorry.
Sometimes you can split a double team in girls because they can't go above your sphere. So if you keep your stick up by your head and go between them, you know, if they check that, then you're going to get a free possession.
Notice, girls, what she does, right? Before she doesn't just run straight at the goal. She throws a little – wait till she gets this ball back 1 second here. All right, so she's in a great position because she's right on the corner of the 8, so she's a threat as soon as she catches this ball. She catches and throws a little hitch, all right? And by hitching, this defender now freezes, all right? And because that defender's frozen, she's able to kind of split this double team and get a good shot off. You got to bury that. That's a good take, though. Notice Hopkins, quick whistle, right? They pick it up. And they're immediately attacking again. So that was good early offense, but Stony Brook does a great job just clamping down and driving Hopkins back out.
Cora, we got to work on the quick start from X and doing our OBs right away.
Yeah, the quick whistle's great. This is for my attackers, okay? I want to talk about this. All right, we're going to watch this girl in Hopkins right here behind the goal, okay? This girl right now sticks in her right hand, and she's carrying towards X, all right, away from the goal. This is a tough time to feed it inside just because you're moving away from the goal, and you're throwing it across your body. Also, notice this goalie here. Her stick is in whatever passing lane is going to exist between this girl and whoever's behind her. All right, so even if someone's open for a second, be careful throwing feeds when you're moving towards the end line. You want to attack up the field. All right, if you roll back right here, girls, and go back to your right hand, that's a different story. That's an easier feed. But she's now going to be 5, 6, 7 yards below goal line, and she decides to jam one inside, and the goalie picks it off. So that's a tough feed.
And look how quick they break out, ladies. Look how fast they get away from the goal. Look at this. Watch how the ball moves up the field right away. Someone's open, give it to her. Someone's open. Okay, now we're gonna push transition.
Smart aggressive again.
Who's that? Lexi Carrera?
No, this is Lexi was in high school, I think, during this.
Yeah. See how hard they go to the goal, girls? You got to go to the goal. Draw contact. Kylie loves contact.
10 minutes. All right, so we got a couple minutes left here. Let's just watch this play out a little bit. Hi.
You froze.
All right, look at her running through this ground ball.
Who's that, Allie?
Allie Kennedy. Right, girls? She doesn't stop. She runs through it. Look, she's going to wait. All right, we talked about our transition principles a little bit, fundamentals of transition. Allie doesn't just chuck this ball to this girl. She's going to wait. She's going to draw someone before she moves it. That's very important, right? Draw someone, move it.
There we go.
Draw someone, move it.
Look,
Draw
you got
someone,
numbers.
move it. What?
Because you got numbers. You know what numbers means, ladies? It means you have one more than they do.
They're getting great shots in and around the crease because they're simply drawing players and moving in transition.
Look how they pressure him on the ride, girls. They let the goalie come up, and they're going to cover girls. Oh, we missed something.
Skip forward. Sorry about that. All right, let's talk about feeding top down for a second, girls, because this is something that's very common, especially at your age. All right. What happens a lot of times is this feed to this crease player is very tempting when the ball's up top. All right. The reason you want to be careful about this feed, there's a couple things. All right. The first thing is, even if this girl did catch the ball, her back is to the goal. All right. So what is she really going to do? Like, what are you accomplishing by throwing that inside? Well, you're not really accomplishing much because as soon as she catches this, she's going to be in a position where she's going to have someone all over her, and she's probably going to have to retreat and then back out outside the cage. All right. Also, as you kind of get closer to the 8, all right, there's a lot more sticks and lanes. All right. And there's a lot more girls in a position to help. All right. So throwing that pass is tough. Also, a lot of times, all right, you're getting pressured and you're getting driven away from the goal. All right. You're now jamming the ball inside while you have a really, it's a pretty significant distance between you and the person that you're trying to get that ball to. All right. So I'd much rather feed the ball inside from these low wings and from X, because naturally the person that catches the ball is facing the goal. So that way you can get the ball in and out of your stick quickly and get a higher percentage shot. And look what happens here. This ball just gets picked off clean. And now you got transition going the other way, right? So transition principle, she's going to wait till she draws someone, moves it, right? Dropped it. I mean, this goalie is keeping them in the game right now. Stony Brook's not doing a great job shooting to good spots, right? You got to remember, the most fundamental thing about shooting is you got to shoot it where it's really difficult for the goalie to make those saves. Off hips, right? Moving the goalie, fakes, usually off their ear, off stick.
We're going to sprint into the hole. I love the effort of Stony Brook.
Yeah, they fly around. They just have to execute right now. They're putting a lot of pressure on their middies. This
is a game that could be 7-0 right now.
Mm-hmm. All right, look at that pressure, right? Making contact the whole time until she gets passed off, right?
Get your hands on them.
You
hear Coach Wink say that a lot.
As soon as these girls get, again, right, feeding the crease top down, we just talked about it, right? This girl had someone all over her. Her back was to the goal. That's not the look, right? These middies have been forcing the ball inside. Be very, very careful of that. I mean, they might give it to her, but, yeah, it looks like they call it push. All right, so here, this is a good one, girls. This is a free position from top center, top of the 8. All right, we work on this at the Scoring Academy a little bit. This is something you can work on in your backyard. All right, so let's freeze and talk about it. All right, so couple things in my opinion you should do here. Put the stick in your strong hand. That's the first thing. All right, there's no reason to use your weak hand if you're top center. All right, it's kind of like if you had a penalty shot in soccer, are you going to use your left foot if you're a righty? Probably not. So same thing. Second thing is, girls, unless you're at like the high school level and you shoot really fast or college level, you probably shouldn't really be doing step down shots at this point just yet. You probably want to get as close as possible before you get your shot off and shoot this on the run. You should be looking to shoot the ball at like the 5-yard marker, which is like right where that referee's standing. All right, so that's that. Another thing is, girls, don't just run in a straight line. If you're a righty, you should try to run at this left pipe so that way your stick is in the middle of the goal and you can shoot the ball to more spots on net. Okay, and then the last thing is, look at the goalie. This goalie is a righty. You're not going to shoot the ball right to the right, right to the right of that goalie. You want to shoot the ball off hip, maybe off the goalie's ear, maybe bounce it over here somewhere. All right, so survey the goal, check out the goalie, and then adjust based on that. All right, so let's watch this girl right now. Let's see what happens. All right, ball's here. Bang. Shoots it right off the goalie's hip, scores a goal. That was a great shot. All right, so girls, you're starting to see in this, we did a 20-minute film session. A game that should be 7-0 is 2-1, simply because Stony Brook is not shooting the ball well. They're shooting it to the goalie's feet, shooting it to the goalie's stick. Here's a replay, I believe.
So a game that's being dominated by white is 2-1, and that's all because of the way they're finishing the ball.
All right, I'm going to cut it there because I want, if anyone has questions, I want to take them. All right, girls, someone raise their hand virtually, or you can actually raise your hand. Give me one thing we learned today so that way we can walk away with something. All right, I'm going to unmute Neary. Give me something, Nears. What did we learn?
Like transition better.
Okay, and give me one detail that we talked about in transition on how you can do it better. What's one thing you remember?
Wait for someone to contact you, and then you pass it.
Okay, so that's a really good point, Neary. Don't wait until they're actually making contact with you. Otherwise, it'll be too late. Wait till they've fully committed to you, which usually means could just be like 1 or 2 steps towards you. So usually it'll be like 10 yards away to 7 yards away. Don't wait till they actually touch you. Otherwise, it'll be too late. There's actually a little phrase that I like to use in transition, like don't let anyone get their hands on you, right? So if they get your hands on you, that means it's too late. So I'm glad you brought that up, but that's absolutely a great point. Make sure that they commit to you before you throw it. All right, who else? I think I saw Mastro put her hands up.
Yeah, Danielle put her hand up. I only see Danielle.
All right, Danielle, what do you got?
It's also like kind of like transitioning, like moving the ball quicker up the field, like just moving the ball faster.
Yeah, well, that's simply like ball moves faster than the girl, right? So if you're getting it up an 80-yard field, even if you're the fastest girl in the country, which we saw on this film, which was Allie Kennedy, let the ball do the work. That's a great point. We got time for one more. Brownie, what you got?
When you're taking a penalty shot, like don't shoot it at the goalie's like strong hand and shoot it like off their hip on like the weak side or off their ear.
There you go. Shoot for net, right? Every goalie's different. You'll get to a point where you're going to scout goalies, but I agree. Shoot it to a spot that's really hard for the goalie to save, okay?
Great job, ladies.
Girls, this was awesome. Do you guys want to do this again next week?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to get back at it next week, all right? We're going to give out some prizes next week for people that answer questions. We're going to open up more time for questions next week, okay? Awesome job, and I hope everyone has a great weekend.
Thank you.
You too.